Y'all know I wrote a book, right? It's called Buy a Game, and it's free. Click the link down there, you got it.
DreAllDay.com.
So there's a lot of people looking for ways to figure out what is the best way, what's the best expression of me? How can I fully express myself? How can I be myself at my best level on the court, in the game, on stage, in the boardroom, in my relationships, whatever it is that they're doing. So knowing yourself is a very important thing. And people who don't know themselves, what you end up doing is spinning your wheels. If any of you ever been in a situation where you was doing something that wasn't really you, we kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday on my stream last night. You were doing something that wasn't really you, and you felt like you were using a lot of energy, but you weren't really getting a lot of results. You weren't getting a lot of traction. So the first thing is that people got to know who they are. And y'all know on Drake's last album, he had a song called Know Yourself, right? And it wasn't really about that, but the point of it is you do have to know who you are. And I'm going to give you 4 things that you're going to go through in getting to know who you are. And the first one is a very simple step. If you want to know who you are, is a simple question that I think all of us have heard before. Maybe many of you have been asked, and maybe you've answered it, maybe you're living it, is this. If you could do anything for 24 hours a day, if you could do anything business-wise, leisure-wise, relationship-wise, work-wise, school-wise, if you could do anything 24 hours a day, what is it that you would do? So that's the first part of number 1. What is it that you would do if you could do anything? And here's the second part, because see, anyone can answer that question, but here's the second part. Getting to know yourself, you need to do the second part of it, which is this. Whatever that is, if you're already doing it, if that's all relationship life, what you need to start doing is focusing on specifically getting better at doing that thing every single day. There should be some activities you're taking. Something you're doing is getting you closer to getting better at doing that thing. And if you're not already doing that thing, whatever it is, let's say that you are a policeman, you should be spending an hour a day doing something, somehow, some way to get you closer to being a policeman. Whether that is you need to read the policeman manual, you need to take some classes online to get you closer to passing the police academy. Maybe you need to go run a couple miles to get in shape so you can pass the police test. Whatever it is it takes to become a police, you need to be doing something that's going to get you closer to being there. So if you're already there, you need to spend at least an hour enriching yourself towards it. 1 hour a day enriching yourself towards it, or 1 hour a day developing yourself personally and or professionally to get to that level of doing that thing. So it's not only knowing what you want, but actually doing something to get you closer to it. And if you do anything for an hour a day for a year, as I talked about before, you'll be in the top 10% of the world in that thing. Do anything for an hour a day for 10 years, you'll be in the top 1% of the world. Those are guaranteed absolute numbers. The problem that most people run into is that they're not willing to do anything every day for a week, let alone a year, let alone 10 years. You do anything every day for 10 years, you'll be in the top 1% of the world. Anything that you want to do, any specialized skill. All right, so here's number 2. So number 1 is that if you could do anything, what would you do, and put an hour towards it every day? Here's number 2. Number 2 thing is matching. And this is now we're going to get into some stuff that you might not have thought about. Matching is this. Matching means you must not only know what you actually like doing, but you want to match up what you like doing with something that you're actually good at. This is very important. You got to match up what you like with something that you're good at. Because how many of you, either you yourself or somebody you know, they like doing something, so they spend a whole lot of time doing it, but they're not good at it at all, and you maybe you don't want to tell them because they're your friend, maybe you don't want to tell them because it's your son, maybe you don't want to tell them because it's your grandma, but you know that they really suck at the thing. Even though they like it, they suck at it, and that's the reason they're not getting any results. And you're looking at them like, man, if they would just do this thing that they're actually good at, they probably get a lot more results with the same amount of energy, same amount of time, same amount of effort. Have any of you ever known someone who's been in that situation, or been in that situation yourself? By a show of hands, anybody know what I'm talking about here? They don't match up. Because what we're talking about here is matching. Yes, you do know people like that. All right, so this is important. And I heard John Maxwell, I think it's the laws of growth, the principles of growth, or some number. You know, he always does numbers. I don't remember how many numbers it is, but anyway, number 2 thing here is you must match up what you like with what you're actually good at. And you need to know what you're good at. This is all part of knowing yourself. If you don't know what you're good at, then you need to do some research into yourself. What are you actually good at? And then match that up with what you like. For example, I could be a marathon runner. I think I'm pretty good at running distances. I got good endurance. I got long legs. I have good stamina. I'm good at getting myself in shape and keeping myself in shape. So I could be a good marathon runner if I wanted to. The problem is I don't like running marathons. So even though I'm good at it, I'm good at doing it, I don't like doing it. So I wouldn't want to run a marathon. I used to work at McDonald's. I was pretty good at making the burgers. I was pretty good at making the burgers. I was pretty good at getting the fries in the machine. I was pretty good at making up the McFlurries and all that stuff here. Oh, you got bad internet connection at school, so they got to get that better, because all y'all should just do is just be on the internet all day. I don't even know what else they got y'all doing in there. But anyway, I could do all these things, but if I don't like doing them, then it makes no sense for me to be doing it. So make sure the things that you're doing, that you like doing, match up with something that you're actually good at. So find your skill and match that up with the things that you like. All right, you got to match those two up to know yourself, to really get into your groove of doing what you actually should be doing, what people would say your calling in life. Make sure you match up your skill with the things that you actually enjoy. Number 3. So number 1 is find the thing that you would ideally do and put an hour towards it a day. Number 2 is match the skill to what you like, to your preference. Number 3 is process. And this is where a lot of people fall off right here. A lot of people fall off at number 3, which is process, which is this. You have to understand that for you to get to, hello to you too. I didn't see your name, but hello to you. You have to take the thing that you decide you want to do, the thing that matches what you like to your skill, and you have to understand that there's a process to actually getting to do it at a high level. There's a process. Like I said, 1 year every day, 10 years every day. Most people don't want to do that. They don't want to commit to doing that much work. They don't want to commit to putting themselves in a position to have to dedicate themselves to anything for that long of a time. They don't want to commit to putting other things off to the side so they can do this one thing. So you have to decide, you who's watching this right now, you have to decide that you are committed to doing this thing every single day for whatever period of time you're going to do it. There's a process to it. So it might be 5 years straight with no recognition. It might be 10 years where you're not making a whole lot of money. It might be a month of you working before anybody knows that you was even working and gives you a job. You must commit to the process of getting better at it. Now, how can you, because I got this video on YouTube. I don't know how many of you know me from, are we still good in the connection? I'm not seeing any hearts. Can I get some hearts if we good in the connection? We good? All right, cool. Can I please get a steady stream of hearts, please? Even if you do one every 5 seconds, just a steady stream so I know the connection is good. All right, great. I got this video on YouTube. As I told you, my background is in basketball. I got this video on YouTube where I say, listen, if you want to get better at dribbling, take these drills that I've just posted right here. Do these drills every day for 5 years. And people leave me comments complaining that I say that in the video. They're complaining that I say you got to do these drills every day for 5 years. They're like, man, why I got to do it for 5 years? Why can't I do it for a month and get some results? Or hey, why can't I do it for 6 months and get some results? So they're like, Dre, basketball tryouts is in April and it's already February. How can I get some results between now and then? Why I gotta do it for 5 years? So here's 2 things. Number 1, if you're gonna be great at something, top 1%, you're gonna have to do it for 10 years. Fuck 5 years, 10 years. If you're gonna get in the top 1% of anything. Second thing is, you can compress time frames. If you wanna compress the time frames to take something that might take 5 years on average, quote unquote, and get it down to 1 year, get it down to 3 years or whatever it is, there's 2 things you need to do to compress time frames. Number 1, you need first of all, number 1, you're going to need a high level of activity. A high level of activity, which means take whatever you thought you was going to do and multiply it by 10, multiply it by 5, at least by 5. At the max, at the best, ideally, you're going to multiply it by 10. So you're going to take that same amount of activity. So if I say do these drills, 100 bounces on each hand, you're going to do 1,000 on each hand. Now, it sounds fun when I say you can compress the time frame from 5 years to 6 months, but then when you see what the work is, it might not be as fun anymore. So you're going to have to, first of all, take that activity and multiply it by 10. That's number 1. And number 2, you must put a strong motivation/emotion behind the reason why you're doing it. You see, if you're just doing it just to say you did it, that's not a strong enough reason. You need a strong reason why, a strong motivation. When someone has strong enough reasons why, strong enough motivation, you can do anything. All of you know that. Napoleon Hill said in The Law of Success, if you tried to break down the door to your house, you probably couldn't break it down. But guess what? If you were stuck in the house and the house was on fire and the door was locked and the only way out was to break down the door, every single one of us could break down the door. Why? Because we got a strong motivation to get the hell out of there to break down the door. So when you have a strong enough motivation to do something, you can get anything done. So if you want to compress the time frame, if you're not willing to work for 10 years, you rather just work for 1 year, you need to find a hell of a motivation. You need to set your house on fire, figuratively speaking, if you're going to get that done in 1 year. Set your house on fire, and then you need to do 10 times the activity to get it done. What sounds great on paper, it sounds fun on paper, sounds like a great idea, a great result to get on paper, but when you get out there and start actually doing it, it ain't as fun as it sounds. But hey, if you're willing to do it, go do it, and then write a book about it, because I guarantee a lot of people want to know. And then go speak about it, because a lot of people want to hear it. And then make Periscopes about it, because a lot of people want to see it. So if you become that person, go do it and let me know about it. I'll buy your book. All right, now here's it. So far we got anything you want to do, make sure you spend an hour a day getting closer to it or getting better at it. Number one, intentionally getting better, not just doing it, but getting better at it. Number two, matching. Make sure you match what you actually like with what you're actually good at. If you like something and you're not good at it, you won't get results. If you're good at something that you don't like, you're not going to be fulfilled. So make sure you're matching what you like and what you're good at. Number three, process. You must be willing to go through the process of getting good at something, not just doing it for a week, not just talking about it, not just reading a book, not just watching a YouTube video and a bunch of notes. You got to actually do the process of getting better, which means 5 years, 10 years straight of work before you get recognition or you get a full payoff for what you did. If you want a compressive time frame, if you want to take a time of 10 years and bring it down into 1 year, that means you must take your effort from once a day to 10 times a day. 10 times in your effort in every day, not once, not when you feel like it, not if friends are there with you, but every single day if you want to compress a time frame. So that's activity. Number one, anything. Number two, matching. Number three, process. So here's number four. Here's the fourth thing that kind of drops people off. And this is the one that the connection is bugging. Well, I'm kind of driving. Well, I am driving, so the connection is going to be kind of janky as we go through this here. Can everybody hear me and see me right now? Are we good right now? Let me know if we good right now. And everything that I'm saying right now is going to go on YouTube. I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel probably in the next couple weeks. So anything that you miss, you'll be able to catch it. And I'll write about this stuff too. Everything that I talk about on Periscope, I eventually get around to writing to. Or anything I write about, I eventually do on Periscope. So anything you're not catching, you'll catch. Are we good on connection right now? Somebody let me know that we're good. Once I know the connection is straight, then I'm going to go to number four. The number four thing is very important. It's the most dangerous thing out of everything. I'm going in and out. You gotta go in and out of Periscope. Okay, we good now? We good? Choppy? All good now? Are we good? Bad? Choppy? Where we at? Ladies and gentlemen, let me know where we at. What's up, Sweden? How you feeling? What up, Staying Fresh for Life? Just checking in. What's up, Austin T13? We good. All right. So far, we're talking about knowing yourself. For those who didn't catch everything so far, we're talking about knowing yourself. 4 steps to knowing yourself in life. Number one is, if you could do anything, what would it be? And then you must spend at least an hour a day intentionally you must intentionally do something to get you better or closer to that thing. Number two, matching. Match up what you actually like with what you're actually good at. If you're good at something, you don't like it, you're unfulfilled. If you like something, you're not good at it, you'll get no results. Number three, process. Understand that everything is a process. There is a time investment required for anything valuable. Anything valuable you got, there was an investment of time. Your kids, there is an investment of time. Your relationships, investment of time. Your business, an investment of time. You must invest time in anything you want to get good at. If you're good at tying your shoes, you had to invest time in tying your shoes every day for a long time until you got good enough at it, you could do it without thinking about it. There's an investment of time in everything. Number four, here's the fourth thing that kills a lot of people off from knowing themselves. Once you start doing these things, once you start doing 1, 2, and 3, and you start knowing yourself and realizing yourself and expressing yourself as who you actually are, this is what's going to happen. There are a bunch of people out there who are completely unaware of what I'm talking about right now. They have no idea why they feel unfulfilled. They have no idea why the things that they like, they're getting no results. They have no idea why the things that they're good at, they're never able to get around to doing. They have no idea why they work hard for a short period of time, get no results, and stop working, and then they start and stop and start and stop. They have no idea why that's not getting them what they want. They have no idea of any of this. They're not doing it. And understand that these people that I'm referencing represent 95% of the human population. 95% of the human population is described in what I just said. Now, those 95% people, once you start following this process and you start discovering and knowing and expressing yourself, these people are not going to understand it, and they are going to criticize you. Understand that the fear of criticism is the second biggest fear known to man after the fear of poverty, according to Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich. The fear of criticism. And I believe this to be true. The fear of criticism is the second biggest fear people have. afraid of what somebody else is going to say, afraid of people being negative, afraid of ridicule, afraid of being, what's the word I'm looking for? Afraid of being, I'm missing the word. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. But afraid of other people looking at what they're doing and having something negative to say. Or, you know what stops a lot of people? It's not even somebody saying something negative. Is that a person thinks that another person is thinking something negative before they even do anything, so they never actually do it. So they like, all right, I'm going to do a Periscope stream, but I think if I do one, that somebody's going to see it, and they're going to think that it's bad. They're not going to say anything, but they're going to think it is bad, and I'm going to think that they're thinking that it's bad, so I think I'm not going to do it. So then they do nothing, because they think that somebody else is going to think something negative, so they think their way out of actually doing anything. This is what happens to 95% of people in life, and that's a generous number. When I say 95, it's closer to 99%, but we'll just say 95 to be nice. The fear of criticism from other people. So what you need to understand is once you start knowing yourself and doing yourself and who knows themselves, you think they're expressing themselves as they are and they don't give a fuck what nobody else got to say or what nobody else thinks. You think of all those people, and then you think of all the criticism those people get. And if you've never seen them be criticized, all you got to do is Google it. You'll find some criticism of those people. Once you start expressing yourself and you know yourself, you will be criticized by people who are not in that boat. And 95% of people are in that boat. So there's a lot of criticism to go around once you get in that group. Everybody understand what I've said so far. And let me know that you do understand it. Let me know if there's anything I need to reiterate or go over. And if you have any questions, let me know what those questions are right now. Let's get to it. This is Dre Baldwin you're talking to. For those who don't know me, I'm an empowerment expert, which means my aim is to empower as many people as possible through talking right here in this video, in these videos, through YouTube, through basketball, which is the sport that I play professionally, through books, through blogging, for the first time. Make sure you are following me, because this is not a one-time thing. This is not a once-a-week thing. This is not when I feel like a thing. This is an everyday thing. It's an all-day thing. That's why it's Dre All Day. That's why my name is Dre All Day, because it's not a once in a while. It's not a once in a blue moon thing. This is an all-the-time thing. So if you got a question, go ahead and leave your question. If there's no questions, then I appreciate the fact that I was so thorough. But I know some people might have some questions, so let me know what they are. So the last one is understanding, accepting you'll be criticized. Yes, that is correct. Most consistent online. Yes, that is correct also. You are right about that. Criticism is the second biggest fear known to man. First fear is fear of poverty. It's fear of not having money. After that is the fear of criticism. Even people who got a lot of money are afraid of being criticized. The other fears, just in case you're wondering, are the fear of ill health. That's number 3. These are not in any particular order. I don't remember the rest of the order. Ill health, fear of loss of love, fear of death, and the fear of old age. Those are the 6 largest fears. Can I go liking something, but say that question one more time? I didn't understand that question, and I missed part of it also. That matching part is very important too. Make sure you match up what you are good at with what you like. So you can like a lot of things, but if you're not good at it, you're not going to get a lot of traction. I like soccer. I like tennis. I like swimming, but I'm not good at any of them. So I chose basketball because I had some ability. I had a little bit of ability in basketball. I put in a lot of work, and it developed into skill. It developed into professional level skill, but I had to match up. I liked baseball before that. I played baseball for 5 years before I even touched the basketball. And then I realized after 5 years that I sucked at baseball, so I stopped playing. Can you go over someone liking something but they're not good at it? Oh yeah, see, I just did it. Can you become good at something you like? You can become adequate. I would say the word is adequate, not necessarily good. Look, if I would have kept playing baseball, if I would have kept grinding, like the example I used right there, I started playing baseball when I was around like 9 years old, right? And I played baseball until I was about 14. Then I started playing basketball when I realized that I was a bum at baseball. I could have kept playing baseball. I could have been a marginal player. I probably could have made the team in high school. I probably could have made the high school team. I probably wouldn't have played much once the coach realized that I was a bum. I would not have made the team in college. And if I did, I definitely would have been on the bench. Guaranteed I'd be on the bench. I would guaranteed I'd been on the bench in college. Then college be over and that'd be it. My career would be done. I'd be playing in, softball beer league. The softball beer league. That would be where my sports career took me if I would have kept playing baseball, because I was not good at baseball. I had no skills. I didn't have any natural inclination for baseball. My natural inclination for basketball is that I'm tall, I got long arms, I could run, and I could jump a little bit. I developed those more. I enhanced those abilities once I started focusing on them, which is step A, focusing on them. But I had some natural inclinations. Having long arms and being tall and being able to run and jump, basketball. Baseball, you gotta be able to catch, you gotta have good hand-eye coordination. I didn't have that stuff, at least not for baseball. I sucked, I was terrible. Did I like basketball when I first? Yes, I did like basketball. I wasn't good, but I liked it. I liked playing basketball, and I could feel, even when I was a bum at basketball and I wasn't getting any results, I could feel that I could see myself getting better. What was the first book I referred to? The Law of Success. The Law, L-A-W, of Success. The Law of Success is Napoleon Hill's. Now, Napoleon Hill wrote 3 books. The first one he wrote was The Law of Success. A lot of people don't know that. The Law of Success was the first book. And it basically is a precursor to Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is the one that everybody knows. And then after that, he wrote another book called Outwitting the Devil, which he never released. That book was written in 1938. He didn't put it out. Well, it didn't come out till 2011, well after he was dead, because he and his family were afraid of the backlash that would come if everyone read that book at the time that he wrote it. If y'all read that book, it's crazy. It is a mind-blowing book. So if you're going to read Napoleon Hill, read all 3 books, because number 1, Think and Grow Rich is the most famous one. Law of Success is my favorite, and Outwitting the Devil is going to blow your mind if you read it and see the stuff that he was saying in 1938 and how it's directly reflective of what's going on in 2016. It's crazy. So read all 3. So if you're going to read books by Napoleon Hill, read all of them, all 3. Did I eventually become a good speaker and video editor? Well, video editor, no, I'm not. I don't even think I'm good at video editing now. I'm not that good at it. I'm an amateur level video editor. The thing I'm great at is producing content. That's what I'm great at. See, the level of content and the amount of content that I produce overcome my amateur level video editing abilities. See, that's the part of knowing yourself. You got to know what you're good at, know what you're not good at. I know I'm not good at video editing. I'm not good at it. If I had somebody who was good at it, who would do video editing for me, my videos would be even better than they is. At least the produced videos like YouTube. Not this. This is not a produced video. This is just me talking. This I'm great at, because all I got to do is come up with content and talk. I could do this all day. I could do a Periscope stream for 24 hours. No problem. Editing video, I'm an amateur. I was a terrible amateur. Now I'm an okay amateur. I didn't see that last question. Post that again. So I worked my way into being adequate at editing video, just because I did it so much. I ain't had no choice but to do it. See, editing video, I only do it as a means to an end. The end is me producing content. This is my gift right here, is producing content. Talking to y'all, writing stuff, speaking stuff. This is what I do well. Editing video is not what I do well. But in order for me to get this to you, I gotta edit video. So I had to edit video just because I ain't had no choice. That's the only way I could get my actual gifts out to the world, was to do this thing that I'm not that great at. So I made myself adequate by force. Again, what did I talk about? You must have a hell of a motive. My house was on fire. You understand what I'm saying? Well, my house was on fire. When I say a passion is something you do unconsciously, not necessarily. I don't know about the passion conversation. If you read a book, if you want to read about the passion conversation, somebody who can explain it way better than me, there's a book called So Good They Can't Ignore You. The guy's name is Cal, C-A-L, Newport. So Good They Can't Ignore You. Actually, just go to my website, dreallday.com, and on the front page, I just did a review on his book like a couple of days ago. You see the book review. It's called So Good They Can't Ignore You. The book has a bright orange cover. So just look for that book review on my website, dreallday.com. I just did it a few days ago. That makes sense about editing. That's YouTube. Yeah, exactly. So I had to get this out. So I was forced to figure out video editing. But if I didn't have this gift of creating content, I would never edit a video, because I'm not good at it. But I'm good enough that I can get this out. And my ability to produce content, great, useful content for people, in addition to the fact that I can mass produce content better than any human being alive, those two elements combined overcame the fact that I'm not good at editing videos. Everybody understand that? So you gotta come up with a good enough reason. Who was that saying, oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to tell my mom that you said that. Next time I talk to her, I'm going to tell her you said that. I can't see your name. What's your name and where you from? Whoever that is in the comments. I can't see names. I can see the words, though. I'm serious. You think I'm joking? A means to an end. Yes, a means to an end. So you got to figure out what your end is. Your end is being able to express yourself. You from Bermuda? Shout out to Bermuda. I ain't never met nobody from Bermuda. I know people actually live there. All I know about Bermuda is you can take a cruise to Bermuda. I know people from the Bahamas, but not Bermuda. Is the Bahamas and Bermuda the same place? Forgive my ignorance of geography. if it's not. I will. Definitely. They're not. Okay. So what we talking about here, for those who came in late, we talking about knowing yourself. See, the means to an end. So the end is you being able to fully express yourself. Bermuda is Bermuda. You know what you're right. You're absolutely right. So an end is you being able to fully express yourself. So whatever you got to do to get to that end, you do it. Not the Bermuda Triangle. All right. Well, that's the only Bermuda I knew of. That's why I was mentioning that. I know that's not, I know that's not like, if I flew to Bermuda, I'm gonna land in the Bermuda Triangle. Is that even exist, or is that just mythical? So that's just something people talk about. Is that a real place? And what's your name? You checking in from Bermuda? Since you're going to give us some information about that place. I don't know anything about it, so I'm gonna learn from you, at least in a couple comments. So what we was talking about, just to reiterate, we're talking about knowing yourself. Step one is, if you could do anything, what would it be? And then you must spend time applying yourself to it to actually get good at it. Step two is matching. Match what you like with what you're good at. That's a shortcut to success. Something that you like, even though you have no ability, I'm not telling you you can't. And if you want to do something that you're good at, but you don't actually like it, well, you probably already know you don't want to do that because you'll feel unfulfilled. A lot of people do things that they're good at, but they don't like. I was good at sweeping the floors when I worked at like it. I was good at a lot of things. I was good at being a cat. So you got to know what you're good at and what you like at the same time. So if you don't do the work, forget about it. You don't do the work, you'll get no results. Even if you're good, even if you like it, even if you have natural ability, even if you spend 10 hours a day, people are not fully being themselves. Not because they don't want to. Some because they don't want to. Some because they're completely young. Small percentage because they don't want to. But most people just don't know anything. The thing that keeps most people back in life is that, well, half of them is that they know nothing, and half is that they know everything, but they do nothing. So you just make sure you're not in one of those categories. Kind of fucked up here. So y'all make sure y'all follow me. We'll do another stream. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. We'll see. Work on your game. Dre all day. Make sure you get my first book, Buy a Game. It is free. Click the link right here below in the video description. I'm on all your favorite social media platforms: Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope. All the links are right down here below. Is either Dre Baldwin or Dre All Day on each one of those sites. And make sure you are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button down there and the thumbs up like button. Subscribe so you catch all the new content. I work on your game. Dre All Day.